Greetings, parents, guardians, family supporters, and students. On behalf of the entire Long Beach Unified team, I want to welcome you to the 2021 Kindergarten Festival. While I wish we could be in person like we have been in all of the years that we've held the K-Fest, I know that we will still be able to meet the critical goal of this event: connect our families with the resources that they need to make informed decisions about kindergarten enrollment, and to help prepare our young learners for their kindergarten experience. I am very proud of the work that all of our kindergarten teachers have done to ensure academic excellence, social and emotional growth, and equitable opportunities for all of our youngest students. Whether you have your child attend their neighborhood school or a school of choice, I am confident that you will be pleased with their kindergarten experience, and more importantly, I am confident that your child will receive a high-quality education. Thank you for taking the time to participate in today's Kindergarten Festival. One of our greatest strengths is our high level of parent involvement and support, and your participation today is a great example of this important partnership. Best wishes, and we look forward to supporting you and your family on the next steps in your educational journey.
Good morning, Long Beach and future Long Beach Unified families. I am Kim Weber from the elementary office, and it is my pleasure to be with you this morning as we introduce you to the process for enrolling in kindergarten. It's an exciting time for you and your families, and normally this is one of my favorite days of the year because I get to feel the excitement and be with you in the room. Unfortunately, we have to do it a different way, but I'm really proud of our team and coming together and finding a new way to present this important information to you. So without further ado, I'm going to go over a few slides. Please mark down your questions and be ready to submit those in the Google form as I go through the slides, and we will come back to you and answer them later this week. So here we go. Some information that you will want as you start your time in Long Beach Unified. So the purpose of our festivals is to make sure that you understand and have at your fingertips all of the information you need to enroll in early transitional kindergarten, or kindergarten in our district, in order to facilitate that seamless transition from preschool or the home environment into our schools. Early transitional kindergarten is that time is a placement for students who are turning 5 between December 3rd of 2021 and June 15th of 2022. So these are for our students that will have a later age or a later birth date for turning 5. In order to apply for our ETK, you will fill out an intent form that will be available online in February. Our transitional kindergarten students are those who will turn 5 between September 2nd and December 2nd of 2021. This program follows the same schedule as our regular kindergarten students at the site. In order to apply for our TK program, you will enroll at your school of residence. If the school of residence does not have a TK program, you will complete a school of choice once your enrollment is complete. In order to enroll in kindergarten, a child must be 5 by September 1st of 2021. So that's a lot of information about ETK, TK, and kindergarten. Those dates will be up again later. We are really excited that 6 of our schools offered a dual immersion program. Each program is unique, so it'll be very important for you to look at the school's website and get further information from the school itself. But Bixby started their program, and they now have grown and include kindergarten through 3rd grade. Chavez just started this year, and next year we're excited that they will be adding 1st grade to their dual immersion program. Henry, Lafayette, Webster, and Willard have established programs that go from kindergarten all the way through 5th grade. You would need to look at these schools' websites to see if they offer a transitional kindergarten program or if they start at kindergarten. This is a really important page because every process that we go through starts with you enrolling at your school of residence. So I want to make sure that you know how to do this. Basically, it is the school that is closest to your home, but it can be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to encourage you to go to our website and click on www.lbschools.net to find the website or the page that says how to find your school of residence. This is the most efficient way because there'll be a page where you can enter your address, and I'll show you that in a minute. If you get stuck, please don't hesitate to call the elementary office at 997-8247, and we'll help you through the website. Or you could always go to the nearest school with an appointment. So if you go through our website, you would click on S, and that will open up our index with all of the S's, and you would come all the way down here to the bottom and click on School Finder. That would help you find based on your street address. Over here, you would just type in your street number, and then the street number, and then the name of your street. Don't use Avenue, Boulevard, or Street. All you would have to do is click on the basic information, and up will pop your school. Okay, so what do you need to enroll? We need the original documents, so you must have a birth certificate, your child's immunization record, and proof of address or residency. The most important question I've been asked so far is, when do we start? You don't start until February 1st of this year, so you have a few weeks to gather those original documents to make sure you have everything at your fingertips when it's time to enroll. This is a very, very common question. What if I don't want to attend the school of residence? So this is our school of choice process. The first thing to know is that you must have an active ParentVUE account, and that happens when you enroll at your school of residence. We will start accepting applications for school of choice on March 1st at 9 a.m. So enrollment starts February 1st. School of Choice starts March 1st. You have time to get everything done so that you can apply for School of Choice. Here is our timeline for the School of Choice process. You will start applying on March 1st through ParentVUE, and the last day to submit your application is April 1st. Then on April 30th, we will notify you if you are accepted or placed on the wait list at the schools you've applied. Many of our students require special education services and are currently enrolled in special education programs. If your child receives RSP or speech and language services, they are available on every Long Beach Unified campus. If your child needs more intensive services through a special day class, those are provided based on the programs at specific sites. If your child is applying and receives RSP or speech and language, we will always place them at their school of residence until or if you apply for school of choice. If your child receives a special day class program and it is not offered at your school of residence, you will receive transportation to the school that is closest to your school of residence, and that site has the required program. So, for our students with special education, it's very important that you look at their IEP and determine what program or placement they need. If they receive a special day class level of support, they would be offered transportation if your homeschool does not have that program. So please work with your case manager to make sure this process is clear to you. So important to know that all students with an IEP can participate in our School of Choice process. The process is exactly the same, although if you apply for School of Choice and your student is enrolled in a special day class, you will not receive transportation to a School of Choice placement. So, on all of our websites, I'm going to encourage you as you're out there looking for information to decide if you want to attend your school of residence or apply for school of choice. All of our schools' websites have really valuable information for you, and they're in the process of updating that information. So you would go back to our website and click on the alphabetical index, choose the letter of the first letter of the school you want to check out and get information about. Click on that website, and all of this information will be available to you. Their schedule, what programs they offer, what color their uniforms are, what type of what lunch is provided, and how you can stay involved. Because if you're here with us today, I know that you are already a very involved family member. So we want to keep that involvement. So I mentioned before that if you have questions, there was a form that was included in our description. So I'm going to encourage you right now to take a couple minutes and fill out that form. And one of our employees from the elementary office or from the district office will be calling you back this week. So it's been my pleasure to present this information to you. I know that you have lots of questions, but please know that we are here to help you and support you through this process. We're excited to get to know you and your incoming ETK, TK, or kindergarten student. They make our days so much happier when we see them in the classroom, and we look forward to that happening with you in the fall. Thanks for being with me this morning, and have a great rest of your day.
Hi, my name is Nicole Jackson. I'm a TK to grade 5 ELA curriculum coach here in Long Beach Unified. The session you're going to see today is Name Game. Name Game is an instructional strategy that is used in many of our TKK classrooms. The purpose is to introduce and teach the letters and sounds of the alphabet in a way that is really meaningful to students. Students will begin to learn the letters in their own name and then move on to letters of family members' names. The reason why the strategy works so well is because students are making personal connections to the letters of the alphabet. Making connections with letters in the alphabet to people who are important in their lives will help children learn the letters quicker. The materials that you would want to use for this activity that you can do with your children at home is you can get an envelope. And if you don't have an envelope, you can easily use maybe a little baggie to keep the letters in. So you have an envelope. I use index cards just because it's a little less flimsy than regular paper. So if you have index cards, that's great. A marker, and then just some scissors. So what you would do is you would first take the envelope and write your student's name or your child's name. It's really important that you write the letters very large and also starting with a capital letter and then lowercase letters for the rest of the name. That is if your child doesn't have any capital letters in the middle of the name, so I know some do. And so if your child does have a capital letter also in the middle of the name, make sure you use a capital letter for that. So here's the name, Iris. And then you would maybe want to include maybe your name if you're the mother or father. So I'm going to write the name Nicole. Okay, so you can see that I wrote it rather large. Now what you're going to do is you're going to also write the letters on an index card. And if it can all fit on one, that's fine. You may need to use additional cards because now we're going to cut up the letters. Okay, now I'm going to put the letters. This is Iris's name. I'm putting Iris's name in her envelope, and then I will write the parent's name. And as you can see, I'm running out of room here because I don't want to write it too small, so I'll continue it on this index card. And then I will cut the parent's name up. And place those letters in the envelope. The last thing that you may want to have is, and I've already done it, but if you have extra index cards, is to actually have all the letters of the alphabet, capital and lowercase, on index cards, okay? So that is all you need for the materials. And the whole purpose of playing name game, as I mentioned earlier, is for the student to learn the letters in their name. They are making connections between letters in their name and possibly the letters in their parents' names. They're also learning the sounds of letters. They are also learning that some names and words are shorter and some names or words are longer, okay? So what the child will do when you sit with them is they will go ahead and take the letters out of their name, and basically what they're going to do is just sequence the letters in order. So they're going to sequence the letters, and then you would want to give your child an opportunity to say the letters in their name, such as capital I, R, I, S. Now, if your student doesn't know the letters in their name, right, this is why they're doing it, that's okay. We're just going to maybe focus with just the beginning letter. The first letter is I. It's a capital I. Once your child knows the first letter, then you can move on to helping them learn the rest of the letters in their name. Okay? And then, of course, you would be doing your name as well. Once the student puts their letters in sequence, so let me do this one real quick. Now it's time to put them away. So as a parent, what you'll do is you'll hold up the first letter of the alphabet and you'll say A. A makes the A sound. Do you have an A in your name, Iris? And Iris will say no. Okay, let's go to the next one. B. B says B. Do you have a B in your name, Iris? You know, she does not. And then you would continue through the alphabet until you get to a letter that is in her name. So you keep on going. Here's the letter I. I makes two sounds. It is a vowel. It makes the long I sound I and the short I sound, which is I. And Iris would be like, oh, I have an I. And so then Iris would take her I and put it in her envelope. And then you would continue through, oh, and she actually has a lowercase I, so she would also put that one in her envelope as well. And you would continue through the alphabet until you get through Z. Now, I also had an I, so I probably should have put my I away as well. And in the beginning, you would probably be doing your own name while Iris is working on her name. As Iris becomes more familiar with the letters in her name, then you would maybe have her do both names, and she could be putting the letters away of both names. As Iris begins to learn the letters in her name and the parent that does this, then you can start adding siblings' names, cousins' names, aunts and uncles, grandparents' names. You can do this with sight words because the more students see and make these connections with words that they know and people that they're familiar with, they'll start learning the letters. In this next segment, you will see a mother named Nicole and her daughter Iris actually doing this activity together.
We're going to play a game. You want to play a game? Okay, it's called the name game. Okay, so I have two names. I have your name and my name. Can you point to your name? Good job. High five. All right. Can you tell me how many letters are in your name? Can you count them?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. Show me 4. Good job. All right. Do you know the letters in your name?
I-R-I-N.
Good job. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the letters out of our envelope. And we're going to put our envelope back down, take them all out. You want help? There we go. There we go. Okay. Now I want you to put them in order as you see on the envelope, okay? We'll match them. What letter does your name start with? I. Is it capital or lowercase?
Capital.
Capital. Good job. All right. Oh, can you put them down below the envelope? Because when we go through, we're going to actually put them in the envelope. Perfect. You got this. Alrighty. How many letters are in my name? You want to count with me? Let's count mine. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Good job. All right, I'm going to show you some alphabet letters, and if you have that letter in your name, you're going to choose the letter and put it back in the envelope, okay? So our first letter is the letter A. A says ah. Do you have the letter A?
No.
No. Do I have the letter A?
No.
No. Ready? Letter B. B. B says B. Do you have a B?
No.
No. Do I have a B?
No.
No. What about this letter? Letter C. It
You
says
have.
K. I have it? Oh, very good. Thank you. Letter C. Thanks. I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it in my envelope. All right. What's our next one? Letter
E.
E. Do you have E?
No.
No. Do I have E?
Yeah.
I do, huh? It's at the very end. When I say my name, Nicole, do you hear the E at the end? No. Even though it's a vowel and it makes two sounds, E and eh, we still don't hear it at the end. Sometimes those are some funny little rules. Okay, let's keep going.
A.
H. And H says, right? Do you have an H?
No.
No. I don't have an H
No.
either, huh? Oh. I.
I have.
You have an I? I is a vowel and it makes two sounds. It makes I and I.
I'm gonna take these
Oh,
ones.
you actually have two I's. You have a capital I, which makes the long vowel sound, I, and then you have a lowercase I. So go ahead and put those in your envelope. And I also have an I. So I'm going to put mine in there too. Ooh, L. L says, oh. Do you see an L?
No.
No? Let's look. In your name, I don't see one, but what about my name? Do you see an L? Let's match them. Is that an L?
No.
No. Is that an L?
No.
No. What about this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have two L's, don't I? So I'm going to put my two L's inside my envelope.
I don't have L.
You don't have an L, and that's okay. What about this letter? M. Makes the sound
I don't have N.
I don't either.
You don't.
I don't, huh? What about this one? Letter N.
You have N.
I do. What sound does N make?
Mm.
Very good. High five. You know those sounds. So I'm going to put it in my envelope.
I don't have N.
No, no N. Letter
Oh.
O. O is also a vowel and it makes two sounds. Makes O, like you said, and ah. Okay?
Oh.
Nicole. Which sound do you hear in there? The O or the ah? Nicole. It makes the long sound. You hear it say O. Yeah, it makes the O sound. Very good, Silly.
Oh.
What about this letter?
R.
R. R says R, right? Like in iris.
Yay.
Very
R.
good. You have a lowercase r.
Put this.
Got it? We're down to one letter. Letter S. It makes the what sound? Sound. Good job. Let's put it in. We're all done. Good job.
So this next segment is showing you how to do a read aloud. So reading aloud daily to your child is one of the most important things that you can do with your child. Not only does it provide an opportunity to bond with your child, but reading aloud builds many important foundational skills, introduces them to complex vocabulary, provides a model of fluency, expressive reading, and helps children recognize what reading for pleasure is all about. So it's actually a fact that reading just 5 books a day to your child will actually introduce them to 1.4 million words. So what I'm going to do now is show you this text and just walk you through maybe some good opportunities to stop and ask your child questions throughout the reading of the text, okay? And I'm going to explain why I would be stopping at certain parts. So here is the text, Knuffle Bunny. You would want to, before reading to your child, maybe discuss the author. The author is Mo Williams. And if there is an illustrator, you would want to introduce the illustrator. This one, I don't see an illustrator here. You would then maybe talk about the title page. So teaching your child parts of the book is very important. Then when you get into the reading of the text, you want to stop at natural points, okay? I don't want you to think that you have to study a text in depth before reading aloud to your child, but I just want to point out some stopping points that I think would be important if I was reading this to my child. So here on this page, there's the word errand. So Trixie went on an errand with her daddy. So errand would be a good place to stop and ask your child if they know what the word errand means. Because if they don't understand the word errand, they may have difficulty comprehending the text. So here on this page, it has the word block. Trixie and her daddy went down the block. That stopping at the word block is also a good opportunity because a block to a 4 or 5-year-old may be building blocks, right? But in this case, it has a different meaning. So words that have multiple meaning are wonderful words to stop and clarify, making sure they understand the definition of the word. Let's see here. Here's the word laundromat, okay? For students that don't go to the laundromat, they may not know what a laundromat is. So you would want to make sure that they understand what a laundromat is. Now here would be a good time to maybe stop and ask your child, because it says Trixie helped her daddy put the laundry into the machine. But maybe here you would have your child just look at the picture and be like, wow, and ask the question, does it look like Trixie's helping her daddy put the stuff in the machine? So that you can always also just stop at pictures to get the student engaged as well. Let's see here. Okay, here, looking at this page, Trixie realized something. Look how large that text is. So this could possibly be another opportunity to stop and explain to your child that an author will sometimes enlarge text to really call it out, okay? Here, Trixie's saying aggle, flaggle, clabble. You may ask your child what that means, and of course it doesn't mean anything, so, you know, maybe try to clarify to them that Trixie's really not talking yet, and that's how Trixie talks. And then, oh, here's another word I would probably stop at. It said Trixie bawled. Well, bawled here means that she cried really hard. But again, to a 4 or 5-year-old, bald may mean, when they hear the word bald, they may think it's someone without any hair. So you'd want to make sure that you clarify that as well. And lastly, when you get through the text, oh, here, okay, so here, Trixie actually left Knuffle Bunny at the laundromat, and so they're rushing back to find Knuffle Bunny. This would be a good opportunity for your child to predict. Do you think they're going to find Knuffle Bunny at the laundromat? You can also ask them to make some connections. How would you feel if you left your favorite stuffed animal at the laundromat? And then once the story is finished, you would want to ask your child, maybe make some additional connections. Have you ever lost anything that made you upset? You can ask them questions. Did you like the story? And lastly, It's kind of fun sometimes, is now that you read the story, to put the text in front of the child and just go page by page. They can't read it, but they can look at the pictures and retell the story in their own words. All right? So now that I just walked you through some great stopping points, you're going to see a mother and child actually engaged in this text together.
Okay, we're gonna read a story, and it's called Nuffle Bunny. That's the title, and it's by Mo Williams. Do you know, he's the author. Do you know what the author does? The author is the one who writes the words in the book. So let's get started.
Not lots of no. Not lots of them.
Yeah. This is the title page. Do you remember the title? The title is Nuffle Bunny.
Nuffle.
Yeah, Nuffle Bunny. Not so long ago, before she could even speak words, Trixie went on an errand with her daddy. Do you know what an errand is? No? It's okay if we don't know. We gotta learn, right? So an errand is when you go someplace to get something important done, okay? So they're gonna go do something really, really important for the family. Trixie and her daddy went down the block and through the park. They're walking, aren't they, huh? Yeah. Can you turn the page for me? Thank you. Past the school and into the laundromat. What's a laundromat? I know we've never been to a laundromat, huh? Laundromat is someplace you go to do your laundry. Because not everybody has a washer and dryer in their home. Okay. Trixie helped her daddy put the laundry into the machine. Huh. What is Trixie doing? She's what? Is she playing? She's not helping Daddy. Uh-oh. She even got to put money into the machine. Then they left. Oh, what do you notice about the machine?
Nuffle Bunny is inside it.
But a block or so later, Trixie realized something. Uh-oh, look at her eyes. They're really big, aren't they? What do you think she realized?
That Nuffle Bunny was in the washing machine.
I think so. Trixie turned to her daddy and said, "Aggle, flaggle, clababble." "That's right," replied her daddy. "We're going home." How does she look here? How does she look? Does she look surprised or does she look worried? Worried, yeah, I think she's worried. "Aggle, flaggle, clabble," said Trixie again. "Flaggle, plabble, wumpy flabby." Snurp. Oh no, I think she's really getting scared that she's not going to have Nuffle. "Now please don't get fussy," said her daddy. Well, she had no choice. Trixie bawled. Wah! She went boneless. Oh no, what does boneless mean? Look at, she just flopped like she had no bones in her body anymore, huh? She just went. She did everything she could show how unhappy she was. And by the time they got home, her daddy was unhappy too. As soon as Trixie's mommy opened the door, she asked, "Where's Nuffle Bunny?" Look at Daddy's face. I know, I think he just thought, uh-oh. The whole family ran down the block, and they ran through the park, and they zoomed past the school and into the laundromat. Do you think they're going to find Nuffle Bunny? You think so? Let's find out. Let's hope nobody took him. Trixie's daddy looked for Nuffle Bunny and looked and looked and looked, but Nuffle Bunny was nowhere to be found. Oh, how's she feeling now? Sad, huh? She's feeling a little sad. So Trixie's daddy decided to look harder until Nuffle Bunny! How's she feeling now? Well, her mouth is up. Do you think she's happy? Yep, she's happy they found Nuffle Bunny. And those were the first words Trixie ever said. The end. Where did they go on their trip? Do you remember where they went? Did they go on a plane or did they go to the laundromat?
To laundromat.
To the laundromat. And what did Trixie lose?
Nuffle Bunny.
Nuffle Bunny. Did she find Nuffle Bunny?
Yeah,
Oh, did she find Nuffle Bunny at the beginning of the story or the end of the story?
the end.
The end of the story. Good job. That was a fun book. Let's do it again.
Welcome to the Kindergarten Festival Math Workshop. I'm Nancy Hayashida, former elementary math coach for the Long Beach Unified School District. When we think of helping our children with math readiness, many think of teaching to recognize numbers and even maybe memorize some basic addition facts. And while all this has its place, it's just now is not the time and place for it. Let me explain. Especially for young children, our preschool, transitional kindergarten, and kindergarten children, the most powerful thing we can do is to help them build math readiness skill is to provide experiences and opportunities for them to interact with mathematics in their daily lives as they're continually trying to make sense of the world around them. Young children have a natural curiosity about their world, and when we capitalize on that curiosity, we open the door to learning. Our job is to create opportunities and experiences for our children to see, touch, smell, think, and problem solve as we ask questions such as, why do you think that? How do you know that's right? Can you show or tell me how you did that? These questions cause children to have to think. It's not our job to teach them or to show them how or why. Our job really is to provide the opportunities and experiences and the space so that they can make the discoveries for themselves. The learning for children is much more powerful when they are given the space to grapple with the problem to figure out how or why rather than being told. When adults continually tell children how to or why, we rob children the opportunity for them to construct their own learning. An important part of mathematical understanding is for the children to be able to verbalize what they're thinking and doing and why or why not they believe something is right or wrong. When children are given the opportunity to explain their thinking, it helps them bring more clarity and deepen their understanding, and it gives us as parents and adults insight into what our children are thinking. The following vignettes feature a parent working with his child on a variety of developmentally appropriate early mathematical concepts that lay a foundation for future work as they progress through the grades. In this segment, you'll hear Chad and Iris as I coach them as Chad supports Iris deepening her understanding. Notice how he asks his daughters, how do you know that goes there? Father also gives a non-example when he asks, can I put this here? Non-examples are important as well so that children can see when something is not correct and can explain and verbalize why it's wrong. Children will naturally sort by color, size, and shape. And again, rather than telling how to sort or showing them how to, prompt your child by asking questions such as, why did you put that there? Is there a different way you can sort or group these? Why are all of these together? In the past, we stopped and moved on once they showed us that they could sort. But rarely did we help foster a deeper understanding of the what is sorting. Children will organically sort on their own without much instruction and will think, wow, they know it, clap and move on. But asking questions such as why causes them to think critically about what they're doing. We've got to resist the temptation to tell them. If they struggle to answer, encourage them with phrases such as, well, you can keep thinking about that. The reason or answer does not need to be discovered at that moment. Allow your children to think and grapple with the problem. Even walk away for a bit and allow your child to continue to work on it themselves. It may take a period of time, days, weeks, or more, and that's okay. It's the learning for the children, the process that helps them to figure out. Just keep asking them the questions that'll lead them to the discovery. And remember, don't rob them of the opportunity to construct their own learning. Go.
How about this one? What color is that?
Blue.
Where does it go here?
No.
How about over here?
Ask
No.
her why not.
Why not?
Because this is blue.
So, what are you going to do with it?
Make a blue pile.
Awesome.
Show me how you're going to do that.
Can you show me how you're going to do that?
Put yellow over here.
Great job. You got a lot of blue ones.
No, that's a red
Yeah,
one.
that is a lot of red ones.
Blue.
What shall we do with the others that are left over?
What should we do with the rest?
Make a pile.
What color is that?
Orange.
Okay.
Are all of them orange?
Are all of them orange?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Show me.
Show me.
Orange. No, yellow. Orange.
What do you think?
Orange.
What do you think?
Yellow.
Yeah, we can make it yellow.
No.
No?
What do you think?
What do you think it is?
Orange.
Okay.
Okay.
Orange. Not yellow.
What about the others?
What about the rest? Very good.
In this segment, you'll hear Chad and Iris as I coach them as they extend patterns using colored pasta. Patterning is important because it develops an understanding about repetition. Our base 10 system is a repetition of the digits 0 through 9, so these early experiences in patterning help lay a foundation for later work in place value. Notice how Chad had Iris read and touch the pattern. Doing this allowed Iris to hear, see, and touch what she said using multiple sensory inputs.
I have an idea. Let's see if you can think what I'm thinking. Green, green, blue.
And do it another time. Okay. Repeat. You're going to want to repeat that unit at least 3 times so she sees the pattern.
Okay.
So
Green.
Green,
So remove the
Green.
blue. There you go.
green, green, blue. Green, green,
Blue. Green.
What goes next?
What goes next?
Green.
And after that,
What comes after that?
Blue.
what goes next?
What goes next?
Green.
Keep going.
Keep going. You're doing great.
Green.
Okay, let's read that.
Okay, let's read that.
Can you touch it and read it?
Can you touch it and read it?
Apple. Apple. Shirt. Apple. Apple. Shirt. Apple. Apple. Shirt. Apple. Apple. Shirt. Apple. Apple.
Are those
Uh-oh. Are those apples?
No. Shirt. Apple.
Is that the way the pattern goes?
Is that how the pattern goes? I think it's not.
Oh, no. Have her say, let's look at it from the beginning.
Let's look at it from the beginning.
How many greens are there?
How many green are there?
2.
And then, what's next?
Then what comes next?
1 blue.
Let's look at the end part.
Let's look at the end.
Do you see 2 greens?
Do you see 2 green? And 1 blue?
Yeah.
Show us.
Show us.
Green. Blue.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Is it green, blue, green? Where's the 2 greens?
Is it green, blue, green? Where's the 2 greens?
Green.
Green, green, blue. Green, green, blue. Green, green, blue. Green, green, blue. Green, blue,
blue,
green.
green.
That doesn't seem right. How do we fix it?
You can take the pasta out of the tray if you need another green.
Do you need another green one?
Yeah.
Here's
Not
one.
the green. Not the
Where
green.
would that go?
Where would that go?
Let's read that again
Let's read that
and
again.
have her read it.
Can you read the pattern for me again?
Let's use colors.
Let's use-
the colors thing.
Let's use colors.
Say green, green,
Green, green,
Mm-hmm.
blue,
Mm-hmm.
green, green, blue,
Yeah.
green, green, blue, green, green, blue, green, green.
Oops, where's that?
Whoops.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
can you fix it?
Can you fix it?
Green, blue, green.
Can you fix it?
You said green, green.
What about
Dad said you
That.
said green, green.
you said green green?
Where
How
does
do we
that
fix
leave
that? Where does that go? Where should it go? Over there.
it? So it says green, green.
So that it says green, green, blue. You can move them. No, over here.
Okay.
It says it needs to go here. And then you move that one ahead.
You can move those.
You can move them. Now take that little guy out of there. Okay.
Okay.
Now you got your pattern. Can you read the pattern for me again? We fixed it.
Green, green, blue, green, green, blue, green, green, blue, green, green, blue, green, green,
That's okay.
blue, green, green, blue.
Very good. You fixed it.
Ah!
Okay. Now, Dad, go ahead and do it one more time and do an ABD pattern where green, blue, blue, and see if she can.
Okay.
So we're going to repeat the same thing you just did, but just do a different pattern.
All right.
Okay?
Now, let's see if you can
bring it-
think what I'm thinking.
Right.
Let's take all of our green and put them back into the green pile. And take all the blue and put them in the blue pile.
You put the green in the green,
I'll put the green in the green?
and I'll put the blue in the blue.
Okay. Now, let's see if you can think how I'm thinking. Green, blue, blue. Green, blue, blue.
Okay, when she does it, let her do it. When she
Green,
gets it, okay.
blue,
Blue, blue, green, blue, green,
Okay, let's read it.
let's read that. Start from this side. Start from here. This is where I started.
green,
Hmm.
blue, blue, green, blue, blue, green, blue, blue, green, blue, blue.
Very good.
You've just watched Chad and Iris work with the most common patterns, an AB pattern, AAB, ABB, and ABC patterns. The next step afterwards is for children to read and extend these patterns would be for them to recognize and tell you what's being repeated, the unit of repetition. When children have a deep understanding of patterns, you'll be able to see them organically create their own patterns, sharing what is repeated and reading the pattern in multiple ways.
Let's do another pattern. Can you think what I'm thinking? Blue,
Red,
red,
green,
green. What comes next?
blue,
And then?
green,
Uh-uh.
red.
What colors are you using? Tell me.
Blue,
Just- Uh-huh.
red, green.
Uh-huh. Can you keep reading it?
blue, red, green.
Can you touch it so I know which colors you're talking about?
Can you touch them? There you go.
Blue, green, red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red.
What comes next?
How do you know that goes
Green.
next?
How do you know that goes next?
You're right.
You're right. How do you know that comes next? Huh? Can you tell me?
Because it goes green, blue. No, it goes blue, red, green.
Very good. It's the pattern, right? Good job.
So what comes after all of the green ones?
What comes after the green one? Can you say the colors when you put them down for me?
Blue, green, red, green.
Good job.
In this segment, you'll hear Chad and Iris as I coach them practice row counting, extending the count sequence. Row counting is probably the first thing young children memorize in math. It's just the ability to say the numbers in the correct sequence. It's similar to when children sing or recite the alphabet song.
Can you count with me out loud? Let's count to 30. You think we can do it? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21,
20, 21,
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Yeah! You did it.
Notice how Chad began the count with his daughter Iris and then stopped counting with her. This allowed him to hear Iris counting. He only lent his voice at those points that she stumbles. In this segment, you'll hear Chad and Iris as I coach them using colored pasta to count. The ability to attach one number name to one object is important in the development of number sense in young children. Object counting and row counting are done concurrently and develop concurrently. As children begin to learn the count sequence, they also develop an understanding that one number name is attached to one object and that the last object counted tells how many.
Sissy, how many bows do I have?
3.
So what happens when I do this? How many do I have?
1.
How many did I take away?
How many am I hiding?
How many am I hiding? How many am I hiding?
Show her your hand. Hold your fisted hand out.
How many's in here?
2.
Very good.
So open up your other hand and say how many do you have altogether?
How many altogether?
2.
Altogether, including this one.
And put your hands together. How many altogether?
How many?
And drop them together in one hand again.
How many do I have?
All together.
How many?
3.
Good job.
Awesome.
This segment showed Iris counting pasta. It was colorful and novel, but remember that the purpose for counting is to answer the question, how many? So capitalize on opportunities when there's a purpose for counting to make it meaningful. Think about your daily routine or chores where counting is necessary and have your child count. How many forks or spoons, cups or dishes are dirty or clean? How many eggs are left? How many eggs did we use? It's best to stay within 10 as children learn to object count. If numbers are skipped or objects are randomly touched while counting, all of this is part of the developmental process. And again, just keep providing opportunities to count a variety of things in a variety of situations. And remember, have your child do the work. Make them touch the object that's being counted. Your job is to watch and listen and ask the questions. Remember, you're the facilitator. Let your child discover and construct their own learning. Just keep asking the questions that will help your child discover for themselves.
How many is this in my hand?
3.
Okay, watch.
What happens when I do this? How many did I take away?
How many am I?
1.
How many am I hiding?
1.
Good job.
Open up your hand. How many altogether?
How many altogether?
3.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, pick up another red bow pasta and do the same thing with 4 and see if she can do
How many do I have now?
4.
that. Okay. Ready? And then.
Ready? What happens when I do this?
1.
How many am I hiding?
How many am I hiding?
3.
Awesome!
Open up the hand.
You're right.
How many altogether?
How many altogether?
4.
Yeah!
As I mentioned earlier, now is not the time for flashcards, and let me explain why. When children hear number words like 4, 12, and the first association they learn about 4 and 12 is this, because of overuse of flashcards or an overemphasis on recognizing numbers, we could unintentionally be creating foundational gaps in their mathematical understanding and development. These are symbols that represent the quantity of 4 and 12. When we say number words, we're referring to a quantity, an amount. When children hear 4, they should be visualizing 4 tires on a car, or their 4 fingers with the thumb folded in, or the common dot pattern on a dice, or the 2 big wheels and the 2 smaller training wheels on their bicycle. Those are all images that support the understanding of what 4 is. The association of number words must be tied to a quantity and not to a symbol. The symbol is meaningless without the conceptual understanding of what it represents. Our work with numbers should all be oral at this age. They hear the number word and think of amounts, counting and seeing sets of groups and objects, more than, less than, the same as. These are all foundational, developmentally appropriate mathematical concepts for young children. When children can visualize amounts, they can then begin to build meaning and understanding of how the numbers relate to one another. In this segment, you'll hear Chad and Iris being coached as Chad helps Iris build her understanding about number relationships in the amounts between 0 and 5.
So we're going to do some counting. Can you tell me how many bows I have in my hand? Can you count them?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And what happens when I do this? How many do I have?
3.
Can you count them?
1, 1, 2, 3.
Now what happens when I do this? How many do I have?
1,
Can you count it?
1.
Notice how Chad stayed within numbers 0 through 5. Work within 0 to 5 to build fluency with how those numbers relate to one another. Understanding that a given number can be represented in more than one way builds flexibility and is an important foundation for later work with addition and subtraction. Here's a quick example. Before I mentioned that now is not the time for flashcards, and this is the reason why. When we spend our time building flexibility with our single-digit numbers, when children come across basic addition facts such as 6 plus 8, which is the most missed addition fact on basic facts tests, children who have built the flexibility with numbers will automatically be able to do things like this in their head. They'll look at the 8 and understand that if they break the 8 into a 4 and 4, they can add it to the 6 to make a 10, add the 4 to get 14. While another child might also look at the same problem and look at the 8 and know that 8 is only 2 away from the 10, so they would break the 6 into a 2 and a 4, creating a 10, the 4 more, making 14. While another child as well would be very comfortable with their doubles fact. They would look at this 8, subtract 1 from it to make a 7, add the 1 over here to make the 6 a 7, and know that 7 and 7 make 14. So when children have spent time creating that flexibility with numbers in these early years, their addition facts become second nature to them because of their flexibility with how they can use various strategies to solve them. For the purposes of these vignettes, we used color pasta, but any item you have around your home can be used. Just start a collection. Here are a few that I've started to collect. Go on a nature walk around your neighborhood, your backyard, parks, and have them collect items in a bag: leaves, seed pods, twigs, feathers, rocks, and such. A quote that was shared with me from math educator Christina Tondenval is that number sense is caught, not taught. So given the opportunity to interact with math through children's daily lives allows them opportunities to catch number sense as they make meaning around their world. Help them catch number sense by asking questions that relate to mathematical concepts in their daily lives, such as which is larger or smaller, which has more, less, which is shorter, longer. Is that the same? Can you show me? Why? How? Use a calendar, yes, an old school paper calendar, to develop the understanding of the length of time, days, weeks, months. Let your child mark on it. Give them the responsibility of owning their own learning. Count how many more days, 2, or how many more weeks until an event. For as much as it is safe and possible, allow your child to do the work. If children are relegated to always watching adults show them how to, they become passive learners rather than active learners. So let them move the objects, create the groups, and sort, add the next object, correct the pattern, extend the pattern, have them touch and recount the groups, have them make the corrections. Our job is to ask the questions that will lead them to figure out and remember. It's the process, and it's okay for them to linger in one spot for a while. Just continue to encourage them and take your cue from your child to know when to stop. Thank you for joining the Math Workshop session. For more information on how you can support your child with math readiness skills, please visit lbschools.net under Mathematics and Family Resources. There you'll find a brochure for TK and kindergarten students.